Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight. A Bahamian woman tells her story of being imprisoned after she married a foreigner for money. Dorian survivors on Grand Bahama scammed, and now the minister is sending out a warning. Coronavirus fears hit local Chinese food sales. Plus, we ride along with the police mobile division.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. A Bahamian woman recruited to marry a Haitian man seeking status in the Bahamas is sharing her story. The young mother says she was tempted by the prospect of making money. She sat down with Jasmine Brown for the second part of her series, Citizenship for Sale.
For many people, marriage is a bond based on love and unity, but for others, it's a chance to make a quick buck, like this 27-year-old that we spoke to, who admitted to being a part of a marriage fraud ring that nearly landed her before the courts.
I mind this young man who told me, say, oh, you should do it for money. You won't get in trouble, so I go on ahead and do it. Get catch. Get locked up.
This mother of two who turned witness for the state has asked that we conceal her identity for her safety and the safety of her young children. Last year, she was randomly approached by a recruiter and a close family friend who offered her several $1,000s to marry a Haitian national she had never met.
He was saying to get married to the young man to get him citizenship in the Bahamas, and he'll be giving me money and stuff like that.
She says it was a deal too good to pass up. She says once her mind was made up, she and her fake husband met for the very first time at a JP's office. And get this, they had a rehearsal session that was coached by that JP.
We was getting to each other there. We had to rehearse and say what to say and stuff like that with the marriage place.
You mean at the Registrar General?
Yes, ma'am.
So, in total, how long did you get to know this person that you would be marrying at the JP's office? A few hours?
A few hours.
And what kind of things were you asked to rehearse?
His name, his color, how old he is. He have to rehearse my name, my color, how much children they have. That was about it.
But it did not go as smoothly as expected. The scam quickly unraveled as they were waiting for that interview by the marriage officer.
I didn't get married because he was there for a while. I know something's wrong, but sometimes he say, don't mind that. And when I went downstairs, the lady, she called me and I walked with her. She's like, we called the police. I was like, what's going on? She's like, because one of y'all said that y'all want her and get overthrown and you was getting paid for it. That's how we get catch. They came for the young man them first. Then they called us in the office, me and the young lady, and then they tell us sit there and we tell the two policemen came for us.
What followed was a nightmare, and she and her husband-to-be were taken into custody. Sitting in that cell, she says she came to realize that what she did was wrong, and she decided to help herself by helping the police. Due to her evidence, her fake fiancé was sentenced to 9 months in prison, and the JP was ordered to pay a fine. While their co-conspirator escaped charges, she says she has learned her lesson and had this warning for those still in the marriage fraud game.
Don't do it if you heard it. At least look for a job or something like that. If you're in the cell and you're nice, they give you cold food and they give you hot water and you can't bathe.
And what would you say to people who may watch this story and criticize you? Why are you speaking out?
I'm speaking because I was a lucky one to get out.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
After surviving a killer storm back in September, Marco City MP Michael Pintard says some impacted residents suffered another setback after they fell victim to an online scam that invited storm survivors to send their personal information and money in order to secure assistance. Giorgio Bain reports.
Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Michael Pintard warning Hurricane Dorian victims not to fall for a recently developed scam that's using an Instagram page with his likeness to solicit personal information in exchange for hurricane relief funds. The Instagram page uses the direct messaging feature to send messages disguised as the United Nations Democracy Fund and offers to assist Hurricane Dorian survivors with home repairs, purchasing a new vehicle, or seed money to jumpstart a business. It invites victims to send $1,000 to an account as a surety to qualify for a $50,000 loan. However, the page has been offering up to $250,000.
The persons have purported to represent international agencies, asking for personal information and linking their questions and requests to Hurricane Dorian. Many residents have been hurt, many have lost their lives and all of their possessions as a result of Dorian. And for someone to be as sick and as callous to use this occasion to either injure a public figure, but more importantly, for personal gain, is despicable.
Impacted residents were asked to submit their names, addresses, and banking information. According to Pintard, some of them fell for the scam.
We know that persons have given personal information, and again, we believe that once persons have your account information, they may be able to access funds, and they have been asking for donations.
The page in question is Michael Pintard 215. Pintard urged anyone contacted by this page to contact police.
The following are the sites that we immediately ask all Instagram followers to unfollow. Michael Pintard at 215 and Michael.Pintard. Those are not accounts that we are using.
The page was initially discovered 2 weeks ago.
The following are the official social media handles for myself and those utilized by the team. The Instagram account has official Marco City constituency account, and Twitter at Michael Pintard, managed by my office. Thank you so much.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Former Bahamas ambassador to China, Elma Campbell Chase, is in police custody, being investigated for alleged fraud. The circumstances behind her arrest remain unclear. However, Our News can confirm that the former senator and her son were taken into police custody yesterday. Campbell is a former Free National Movement candidate and served as the Bahamas' ambassador to China from 2008 to 2012. She is a member of the Bahamas Bar and once served as an acting magistrate. Well, the police call center fields around 300 calls a day, but it's what happens after those calls come in that could mean the difference between life and death. Tonight, Our News rides along with the Police Force Mobile Division. Our ride along with the Mobile Division begins on Pontiana Drive. Police spot a white truck and become suspicious. The driver exits the vehicle and is asked to place his hands on the back of the truck. He's then searched as officers proceed to check the truck. Then his name and date of birth are called in for a name check. After about 30 seconds, the results of the name search are given over the police radio, giving the all clear. After a few minutes, the motorist is free to go. But this is just one of many interactions these officers will have with motorists during their 8-hour shift.
We pulled them over in reference to stints. Also, I don't know if you remember the decal that they had back in the day with the different color code. I saw that it was on the vehicle. However, when we made checks of the vehicle, we found that the vehicle is licensed.
On any given day, officers make stops for tints with low visibility, speeding, running a traffic light, and unlicensed vehicles. Then there are the more serious instances like reports of violence. And as they drive through communities, they even sometimes stumble upon a civilian who, upon seeing an officer, decides to run.
It automatically arouses our suspicion. Maybe the person would have some dangerous drugs on them, some firearm. It may be a wanted suspect, so on and so forth.
Aside from each officer being equipped with body cams, the patrol cars also have dash cams and shot spotter technology.
When the public calls 919 or 911, mobile units are the units that will be first responders to those calls.
Officer in charge of the Mobile Division, Superintendent Oswald Nixon, says the division, which has 150 officers, answers hundreds of calls every day.
The calls range from, like I say, a regular domestic matter or the more serious matters, whether they're gunshots being fired or an armed robbery or rape. Whatever calls that are sent in, we respond to those calls.
And as we wrapped up our ride-along, a special operation was getting set to begin, where police and defense force officers took to the streets. Chinese restaurants in New Providence are steadily losing customers due to public fears over the coronavirus. Bethany McDermott reports.
Amid global fears over the spread of the coronavirus, Chinese restaurants here in New Providence have taken a hit, with one popular eatery reporting a 40% dip in business. Over at Golden Treasures on East Street South, manager Peter May said it's a growing concern.
All the Chinese restaurants at the slowdown and drop plenty business.
There have been over 82,000 global cases of the novel coronavirus, which has killed at least 2,800 people worldwide. Cases are now cropping up in Europe. Though there have been no suspected or confirmed cases in the Bahamas, fear of the virus spreading to the Bahamas is real for many Bahamians. May sought to alleviate those fears and stressed that his restaurant's kitchen is clean.
And nothing happened on Bahamas, so we keep all the food fresh and good, and kitchen clean.
May took us on a tour of his kitchen where we met workers preparing popular dishes like fried chicken wings and fried rice. Our next stop was Double Dragon, where we met a relatively empty dining room.
There has been a drop in business. I would say give or take about 40%. The worst of it came after a fake news went viral on WhatsApp. It was supposedly a message from the government advising the Bahamian public to avoid patronizing Chinese-owned businesses, and that's when we noticed the most significant drop once that went viral.
Meantime, China-Bahamas Friendship Association President Gershon Major says Bahamians should continue to patronize these businesses. He says he's confident government will do what's necessary to continue to protect our borders.
I think Bahamians ought not to fear patronizing Chinese Bahamian business. I will encourage them to continue to do so, please. We grew up eating and continue to eat Chinese food. We continue to enjoy a lot of the products that are manufactured from China.
Major added that while COVID-19 is impacting the globe, the Bahamas should not abandon a friend in time of need.
We have gone through our own crisis with respect to Dorian, and the People's Republic and the Chinese people were with us. They have supported us and they continue to do so.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
All right, thanks, Bethany. Still to come, doctors remove a massive tumor on a newborn's brain. Plus, the search for a missing mother and daughter continue. Stay tuned.
Phone is good. Internet is good. TV is good. But why just pick one thing when you can have everything with Trio? Only $99 a month gets you phone, internet, and cable. That's everything you need for $99 a month. Ask for Trio. Call 601-2200 or email residentialsales@cablebahamas.com. Rev, you and us together.
You're watching Our News. Welcome back. A group of doctors successfully removed a giant tumor from a newborn baby's head. Jared Hicks has the story.
Will the baby stand? Will the baby cry? Will he eat? Will he suck? Those are the questions that I had to go through.
40-year-old Cecilia Sitt had a difficult decision to make in the middle of her pregnancy with twins.
Dr. Depew says, Cecilia, we don't know what's going to happen. You know this, right? I say, yes, I know this.
You see, Sitt was really pregnant with triplets as one of her babies had a massive growth on its head. The woman's doctor, Magnus Akadede, says that growth, which was 1.5 times the size of the head of a normal baby, contained arteries, veins, sinuses, and other structures.
The difficulty with this kind of surgery would be that you have to make sure you don't damage those structures, because that's the same structure that supplies everything to the normal baby.
Sitt, a longtime hospitality professional, had to decide whether she wanted to terminate the pregnancy or risk having one or both babies born with defects.
When he comes out, what will you do? Will we let him rest in peace? Or will we, I says, you know what, if he's kicking and fighting, I'm going to kick and fight with him.
Sitt worked up until 2 days before she gave birth, with Michael and Jed coming into the world on February 16th. Jed would need surgery right away, and a team of nearly a dozen doctors spent a day removing the delicate tumor. Dr. Magnus says despite some nerves beforehand, the surgery went well.
The baby looks great, so you never believe anything happens to him. But she's right. We're going to follow him up. We're going to do follow-up scans. The surgery was very difficult and tricky.
Doctors are continuing to monitor both Jed and his brother Michael. Their mother, Cecilia, admits that she had a difficult pregnancy. She said she hopes she can be an inspiration to the next mother coping with what she went through.
If you have another mother like me who goes and research things and see how people handle these situations in the world, where I found 1 in 10,000, if I would have found one like what we're doing now, I would have been more confident.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
The search continues for 2 women who went missing on Long Island. 23-year-old Melissa Huey and her mother, 62-year-old Jane Harding, have not been seen or heard from since Sunday in the quiet settlement of Salt Pond, Long Island.
What they found out is that one of the women was supposed to show up for work, and she didn't. Her concerned employers sent co-workers to her house to check on her, and they discovered that while the vehicle was there and properties were there, or valuables were there, they were not seen. This prompted police and the good residents of Salt Pond, Long Island, and of course the whole community of Long Island to begin to search for the women.
Family members told Our News the home seemed to be in normal condition, with the lights turned on, but the front door was unlocked and Harding's walking stick was still there. Officers from CDU are on the island searching bushes and the sea in hopes of finding the mother and daughter. So far, Press Liaison Officer Chantineau says police cannot confirm foul play.
We don't want to jump to any conclusion at this time. We know that they are missing, and right now we just want to focus on finding them. Of course, investigators, the officers who are investigating at this early stage, will be looking to determine if there's anything that we should be overly concerned about. We are talking to persons who know them very well to determine if they had medical issues, anything that can lead us in the right direction to finding them.
Still to come, OWN makes its return to the Rev channel lineup. Stay tuned.
Phone is good. Internet is good. TV is good. But why just pick one thing when you can have everything with Tria? Only $99 a month gets you phone, internet, and cable. That's everything you need for $99 a month. Ask for Tria. Call 601-2200 or email residentialsales@cablebahamas.com. Rev, you and us together.
Rev is celebrating the return of the popular Oprah Winfrey Network, or OWN, to its TV lineup. The channel will be free of charge as of March 1st and is home to popular TV series like Greenleaf, Queen Sugar, and The Haves and Have-Nots. Rev CEO Franklin Butler says this reaffirms the company's position as a leading entertainment provider.
This moment reaffirms our position as a leader in entertainment in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and our commitment to getting our customer feedback and really making sure we provide content and programming that each of you, our consumers, can enjoy and participate in a way that really is different from any other entertainment offering available to us.
Butler says the aim is to remain competitive with online streaming services.
If you think about what OWN represents for us as a business, we are constantly looking for the best in entertainment, and we recognize that our industry continues to be disrupted by OTT platforms. And so our real focus is how do we provide content that consumers are going to love and enjoy and provide that in a seamless and a meaningful way. We think OWN, we think Curiosity Stream, we think the content we've brought back from Lifetime is a wonderful way to get our consumers to recognize that, one, we're listening, and two, we have the content that they love and enjoy.
And Rev will host a launch party for OWN lovers to celebrate the channel's return.
This Sunday, as of March 1st, if you tune to channel 475, all basic subscribers will be able to view OWN Network. So you don't have to purchase any additional TV packages. It's literally free of charge for all basic subscribers.
In fact, ladies, you can confirm that we actually sent out a special invite. So if you are a super fanatic OWN fan, and members of the media as well, you definitely want to check your emails and your phone messages because we have a special launch party just for you.